This is CBS 5 News at 11 with Michael Benny.
Annandale Fire, Industrial Fire, corner Wolf Street and Kratz Ave.
Breaking tonight, flames and smoke seen for miles. An auto dealership across from the Kraus-Heinz facility in Salina burning. Tonight, the owner of the Hot Rides Auto Sales and Service says he doesn't think anyone has been hurt, but that massive fire drew a massive response from several fire companies. Tonight, they're still on the scene, and we're there for a live report just ahead. Good evening. The top 5 stories of the night are on the way. We begin with the forecast right off the top. It is a weather alert, and Mike Brookins is also focused on something that was trouble for the fire crews tonight. That's the wind.
Yeah, the wind's 10 to 20 miles per hour. In fact, currently out of the westerly direction at 21 miles per hour here in Syracuse, 13 in Rome, 14 in Fulton, 6 miles an hour in Skaneateles. Because of these breezy conditions, yes, it makes it a little bit more predictable. They know the smoke is getting carried further to the east, so they're setting up shop with all the trucks and the people, the manpower to the west of the fire, and that's pretty good news for that diner right there, which is just west of the fire. However, it is also fueling the fire. We've got a temperature of 21, pretty chilly for the firefighters. When you factor in that wind, the real feel, 5 degrees. So thanks for all you guys do out there. We've got a lake effect snow warning east of Lake Ontario. The alert for Onondaga County, the advisory through Oneida County, has been discontinued. There's the heavy snow up to the north. We've got heavy snow over the Tug Hill. Syracuse dry, and it stays up north for your first bell forecast. It's Friday, folks, 16 to 18 degrees. Still on the chilly side, but some sun here in Syracuse.
Thanks, Mike. Just after 11, here are the top 5 stories on CBS 5 News. Incredible new video. A car flies off a highway in Pittsburgh. The car went through a sign before crash landing in a parking lot. It skidded several feet and almost hit a building. The driver wasn't hurt and got out without a scratch on him. This is the 8th accident like this in that area in 9 years. Under arrest, a 41-year-old Syracuse man locked up with no bail, accused of robbing a bank in Solvay. Police say they got to the Solvay Bank on Milton Avenue 30 seconds after the first call for help. Police found Michael Saxon 2 blocks from the bank. They say they found him with the cash he took off with. New at 11, 270,000. That's how many immigrants and refugees this country took in from the 7 countries now affected by the president's travel ban. That number from the last decade. California accepted the most by far, 56,000. But our state came in 5th for the most accepting. Last year was the busiest year for refugee arrivals targeted by the executive order. An urgent plea tonight from Syracuse hospitals. If you have symptoms of the flu, don't visit. Kraus, St. Joseph's, and Upstate Hospital are taking extra precautions to keep patients, families, and the hospital staff healthy. Onondaga County declared the flu widespread. More than 200 cases of the virus reported so far this week. Looking ahead, don't be surprised if your Valentine is a little frugal this year. The National Retail Federation says consumers are expected to spend an average of $136 on Valentine's Day this year. That's about $10 less than last year's record high of $146. Valentine's Day spending grew most years in the last 10 years before hitting last year's record high. Breaking news tonight in Salina.
Whole backside of the structure's engulfed. He's got some cars going also. We're probably going to have an exposure problem with the trees back here at the end of the building due to the wind.
Tonight, still pictures from the scene taken by people who just happened to be nearby capture the intensity of the fire during the worst of it, flames shooting high into the sky. And because this drew such a heavy response from departments all over Onondaga County, people who were miles and miles away heard the sirens that were headed to that call. This is happening on Wolf Street in Salina, an auto dealer across from the sprawling Kraus-Heinz facility, not far from 7th North Street and not far from the Syracuse City line. CBS 5's Mary Keeler is with the live eye at the still very active and windy scene right now.
That's right, Michael, and I'm going to step out immediately here. There are still visible flames coming out of the top of that building. It's Hot Ride Auto Parts, as you have been saying, as we've been telling you, and it is the wind that seems to be perpetuating all of this, and we don't see any ladders or hoses up in the air right now, but there are still those visible orange flames and still a very heavy presence of fire crews and sheriff's deputies and multiple departments from around Onondaga County. And we spoke with a woman earlier who her family owns JR's Diner, which is the business right next door, and she says the wait to determine if there is damage or something has happened to the business that's been in their family for over 30 years is just agonizing.
I mean, my dad over there is obviously very nervous and wants to know what's going on. We don't know anything yet, so we're a little anxious.
And we just heard from a fire official who said that we should be getting some formal updates on what's going on here. But again, there are still visible flames coming out of the top of that building, and the wind has not let up since we got here. It's been almost 2 hours now that this scene has been and is still very active. Live in the town of Salina, I'm Mary Keeler.
Yeah, there's so many thoughts for the people who own that business, Mary. There were two things that were on a lot of people's mind. Number one, was it the Kraus-Heinz facility? We know that's not true. And also that diner, so many people love going there. No damage there right now, right?
We don't see any right now. The woman, her father has been standing out here with her. She said, this is all she's ever known growing up, and she's worried about, of course, the power being off. National Grid has been out here. The food, will it keep? All of that. She says normally he'd be in to open up shop at about 5:30, so they're just as anxious as ever, trying to wait it out to see just what is going to be in there when they get in finally.
I guess the good news right now, there are no reports of anyone, including firefighters, being hurt. Mary Keeler with the live eye at that fire in Salina. Mary, when those fire officials come over, we want to take it live, okay?
Got it.
All right. New at 11, making sure more Central New Yorkers get the dental care they need. This has been years in the making, and tomorrow it's a new step forward in expanding care for people who are least likely to be able to get it. Let's get the facts first on CBS 5 News at 11. Americans will spend more than $105 billion on dental care this year. More than 108 million adults and children lack dental insurance, and more than 50% of them skipped necessary dental visits because of the financial burden. Nearly 75% of adults suffer from various forms of gum disease and don't even know it. Gum disease linked to other health problems like heart attacks and dementia. CBS 5's Kelly Curtin reports.
A free dental clinic.
It is a dental desert. There are no dentists.
Designed to help people in Syracuse who are in need of dental care but can't afford it. Emmaus Dental Clinic says there are certain areas in Syracuse where there is limited access to dentists.
There are a lot of people in the Syracuse area who are unemployed or underemployed, homeless, aren't making the money they need to see a dentist.
Emmaus first opened more than 2 years ago. So far, it has served a limited number of clients. With this new expansion, they hope to reach many more. People like Akech Mual.
I didn't have insurance, so I find this clinic through church. So I start coming here and get my teeth cleaned for free.
Those trips to the dentist inspired him to give back by becoming a volunteer dental assistant. He says everyone should have the same opportunity.
It's a privilege to be treated for free and for people who have opportunity to offer that type of help.
This renewed push to offer free dental care should help the overall health of needy people in the community.
We're building a nice dental clinic here so that they can feel comfortable and come and treat the patients in a modern, professional way.
In Syracuse, I'm Kelly Curtin.
It's a new place to eat and gamble. The Del Lago Casino opens to thousands of customers and some unsettled family members. Why they're so concerned about the cemetery nearby. Coach Q and the SU women's basketball team hosting Pittsburgh tonight. Sports director Nico Tamurian has the best plays as we continue.
Officially 2 inches in Syracuse today. Big numbers up to the north. Fairhaven over a foot with 13 inches. Osceola 18. Some spots near Redfield even more than that. And we've got much more to go through up to the north. A lot of cold for us here in Syracuse. We'll let you know if we get into the action at all coming up.
Thank you, Mike. Also breaking live in Salina right now at the Salina-Syracuse City line. The owner of that auto dealership says he doesn't believe anyone's been hurt in the fire that tore through that facility tonight. Fire officials are expected to give us an update soon. When that happens, we'll be there live on CBS 5 News at 11.
Can we hold up?
Breaking live on Wolf Street in Salina right now. We're about to get an update from fire authorities on the blaze at the auto dealership there.
Describe what happened here tonight.
Well, we pulled up on scene here at a fully involved structure fire. Fire was pretty much blowing right through the roof. Instantly called in a 99, and we went right to outside operations. We had multiple teams going to each quadrant of the structure with multiple aerials hitting from the top side down in. Roof eventually collapsed in. Still under investigation as of right now. We are shutting down all operations as of right now so we can regroup some trucks and get some more water back on the fire.
Has the wind been a big problem?
Yeah, the weather has definitely been a huge factor. As you can see by my gear, I'm completely iced over. I was over on the B side of the structure, and just the wind and the smoke, it's not helping us trying to get the fire put out. So that's why we're trying to reposition trucks so we can try to get the fire to go where we want it to go, so we're not chasing it.
You talk about challenges of an auto shop and the fire that presents.
I mean, really the only challenges you're going to get is between the vehicles that are inside the structure. You got gas, you got air. I mean, you got multiple things that are inside of an auto shop that's going to make the fire progress even more.
What crews have you guys had on scene today?
As of right now, we have anywhere from 7 to 9 fire departments here right now, so that's averaging 55 to 60 firefighters right now on scene. We have crews all over from Mattydale, Hinsdale, North Syracuse, Liverpool, Solvay, Taunton. I mean, we're all here trying to get this fire put out so we can all go home.
Any damage to JR's diner or anything on the other side?
No other structural damages to any other structures around. It's just mainly at the auto shop.
Sir, heard some loud bangs when we first got on scene here. What was that, or can you describe what that may have been?
The only thing that was going on, those loud bangs that you're hearing, is those were the actual tow trucks that were on the side of the structure. It was just the tires popping, so nothing serious to where it injured any firemen. So we were able to counteract with that and then back off and then go back in to do some interior attack. So,
what do residents need to know, Chief?
As of right now, residents need to know that they can't get anywhere near the fire right now, so they just need to sit tight right now until this is all over with.
Is power off in the neighborhood?
I think the only thing that power is off is right now is just this street.
You said you were regrouping. What's the strategy moving forward?
The only strategy that we're doing right now is we're just trying to regroup the trucks so we can get them positioned, so we can get more aerials in the front of the structure so we can get the fire put out quicker.
Talk to me about the challenge of just doing this like coated in a sheet of ice.
Well, being coated in a sheet of ice, and you got hydrants and you got lines all coated, trucks are coated, it's definitely going to be a challenge for us to try to get done.
Okay, and there were still visible flames just a couple seconds ago here. So.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and again, per command of Mattydale, they told us to shut down so we could regroup. We got the pretty bulk of it knocked right now, but we got a lot more to put out. Good.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's see if Mary Keeler can hear me. I'm not sure that she can right there, but boy, it's quite a thing. We're bringing Mike Brookins. Oh,
Sorry.
She is there. Mary, the chief, I mean, coated in ice. That has to be horrifyingly
Thick
uncomfortable.
Ice, yes.
Yeah.
Am I live again?
Yeah, he came right over to us, Michael, and he was kind of unclenching his gloves from. They were solid. They were coated. So they're battling, not just a fire, but they're battling the elements truly out here.
Absolutely. All right, Mary, thanks for your work. I want to zoom into that scene. We'll let you step out of the way, and I want to bring in meteorologist Mike Brookins because we can't go to the weather without talking about the way Chief looked right there. I mean, that ice was incredible on him.
Yeah, they've got a lot of water being pumped down to put out those flames. At least the winds are consistent. They're not shifting around. So when you're battling a fire, you want to be able to get your trucks in a good position to put out the fire without the wind shifting and the fires coming at you or the smoke coming at you, because no one wants to inhale that. And they are consistently breezy, consistently cold winds as well. You can see all the ice on him. And here's why. Temperature-wise, it feels like 5 degrees for the wind chill. Actual air temperature right around 20 at 21. So obviously liquid's freezing. The winds, 21 mile per hour sustained wind out of the westerly direction. That fuels the fire. That gives fresh oxygen for the flames. However, it also does take the smoke away from those firemen, and it gives it a little bit more predictability. There's the snow up to the north as well as to the south on RomanoCars.com. Live triple Doppler radar. To the south, it's just some flurries and light snow. This is putting down minor accumulations, major accumulation up in Oswego County. Pulaski, Richland right now, very heavy snowfall. Good thing this is not down near the fire in Syracuse. North Osceola, blinding snowfall at this 11 o'clock hour, and it lightens up somewhat towards Turin. Here's what we expect for tonight. That snow band stays up east of the lake, so the firefighters are not going to have to worry about it moving on in. It's mostly well to the north Friday, though Friday night it drops into Syracuse. Then those winds shift yet again, and that's all important with lake effect snow forecasting. Goes west and then southwest by the evening. This is going to shut down the lake effect event. Here we are tomorrow morning for the commute. Very slow going in Oswego, southern Lewis, northern Oneida County, clear as a bell in Syracuse. There could be the odd flurry well down to the south. Winds stay out of the westerly direction. Snow heavy at times, especially over the Tug Hill. We'll show you some impressive additional snowfall in Syracuse, some partial sunshine. It's breezy again tomorrow. As we go through tomorrow night, the winds shift to slightly more west-northwest, and towards 10 o'clock through 3 or 4 in the morning, we do get the snow coming into Syracuse. That's our chance for accumulation, but by Saturday morning it moves back up to the north. 1 to 3 inches of additional accumulation through Saturday for Syracuse, and that's primarily coming Friday night for us here in Syracuse. When you get north of the thruway, 3 to 6 inches. Look at that red. It jumps up to 1 to 2 feet of snow. There could be even a section with 3 feet of snow there over the Tug Hill. So 16 degrees our low temperature. It is icy cold here in Syracuse. With that wind at 10 to 20, the wind chills will be down in the single digits all night long, but it's dry here. That snow mostly east of Lake Ontario. The snow band well to the north drops into the Syracuse area for Friday night. Going out for dinner date after 10, 11 o'clock at night could be really snowy here in Syracuse. So 24 tomorrow, 28 on Saturday, lake snow to the north. After that snow Friday night, some snow showers Sunday afternoon. That's Super Bowl Sunday. Factor that into any celebrations. 34, 27 Monday with morning flurries. Michael?
Thank you, Mike. How did things go for Coach Q tonight?
That's just it as well when you're thinking about it. Things are going really well for SU men and women's basketball. The Orange women hitting a high note in this one tonight. We teased to it a moment ago that Coach Q was very happy with the way his team played, but the SU women matching the men with 3 straight wins on the heels of back-to-back victories over ranked squads. Let's get to the action in this one. Syracuse, number 24 now, welcoming Pittsburgh to the Dome. Brittany Sykes welcomes them with a 3-pointer. Coach Q happy with that, as you might guess. Now, Sykes with 16 first half points, and that's pretty impressive. She's not the main story here, though. How about she drops the pass to Brianna Day with a 25 first half points. Day with a 31 on the night. That is a career high. The SU women go on to beat Pittsburgh 93-65. And of course, tomorrow, Michael, our attention focuses back on the SU men. They're hosting Virginia, a top 10 team, noon Saturday. If they can get this one, you hear a lot more NCAA tournament chatter.
Thank you, Nico. As we continue on guard for what may be the most tricky online swindle yet. The crooks figure you're going to fall for it because the emails are coming from companies you trust. How to see through it next. Covering the opening of the new Del Lago Casino this week in Seneca County, we noticed something outside the complex, a cemetery.
This is a generational cemetery.
In the middle of the parking lot, gravestones are peeking through the snow. The state told developers they couldn't move them and would have to build around them. Now the focus is shifting to make sure the cemetery and the people who were buried there are respected.
Anyone today could have a mishap in a car. They could walk up here, they could throw their trash, they could do whatever they want because it's not secure. They were supposed to fence this off and make it privately accessible. They were supposed to fence this off and make it privately accessible to the families whose loved ones are buried there.
As I understand, there's a monument sign that has been ordered. Should be here within the next several weeks. There's a nice retaining wall around it. Very difficult to do a lot of landscaping here in February.
Neighbors say the people buried there are family members of those who used to farm the land where the casino now sits. New at 11, would you know how to tell if an email is real or if it's really a scam? Hackers are now posing as trusted companies to trick you into handing over sensitive information. How do you know what's real and fake? Jeff Rawson explains.
There are new scams happening right now. In this one, hackers are targeting Netflix users. sending fake emails that look like they came directly from the company, asking you to update your billing address, credit card information, even your social security number. It looks so real, unsuspecting customers are handing over everything. And now another one bubbling up. This new scam aimed at Gmail users. The email looks like it came from a friend. When you click the attachment, it asks you to log back into your account. The hackers watching your keystrokes and stealing your information. And for the hackers, it's easy.
Okay, so I'm creating the fake email.
Right now, this one is sending emails trying to trick people. Luckily, this hacker is working with us. Jim Stickley, a cybersecurity expert. His targets today, my mom and dad.
We're going to do exactly what the hacker does.
I've told them 1,000 times. They know what I do for a living. They watch me on television. I say, don't open attachments, don't open links if you don't know exactly who it's from.
Yeah. Now, in this case, we're not going to actually send them malware or anything dangerous. We're just doing a test.
But the bad guys, that's all they have to do. You click on that link and they'd be in your system.
They can put ransomware on your computer. They can take over your computer, maybe turn on your webcam, start watching what you're doing. They have complete control at that point.
Just minutes after sending the email, Jim confirms my mom opens it and clicks the link. Hours later, my dad does too. Time to pay a visit to my parents. They are not expecting me.
Oh my God!
Oh, hi.
What are you doing here?
Hi, Mom.
Oh
Hi,
my
Dad.
God! Oh my God!
Hi, Dad. How are you? So you guys
What are you doing?
You guys clicked on an e-card. Do you remember clicking on an e-card last week?
I guess. I don't know.
We actually had a computer expert send that to you, and this is what the hackers used to link in. We could have had full access to your computer. This is a test.
Unbelievable.
We opened it.
We did.
Okay, those are my parents, but surely my crack team of investigative producers will know better. Let's see, Jim is back at it, and this time he's upping the stakes. Not only sending a link, but also asking for additional personal information. Address, phone number, and social security number. The email looks like it's from NBC, offering a phone upgrade. But if my producers look closely, and I hope they do, they should notice the address isn't a real NBC account.
This is what criminals do. They send an email out that looks like it comes from the company you work for, only it's not really them.
Jim confirms my 3 producers not only click the link, but enter all their personal information.
Hey.
How are you?
Here to talk about your phone upgrades.
Phone upgrades?
Did you get an email?
I did, yeah.
Catherine, did you get one?
Yes, I'm very excited about it. Yes.
That was from a hacker.
Really? What?
That was from Jim Stickley. We're here to test you to see if you would open that. And you did. And you actually put in all of your personal information, social security numbers, addresses.
It was from NBC. So we're not getting new iPhone 7s?
you are not getting new iPhones.
I'm ashamed. I'm pretty sure I put in my social.
Annika?
Yeah, you got me.
We didn't put anything on your computers or anything, by the way, but a bad guy could have.
I know. I've literally done this story. Yeah, great.
An important lesson from my family to yours.
Did we learn something today?
Yes, I got you to come to Florida.
I learned not to open the door.
Another tip, before you click on a link, make sure it has an S after HTTP. That means secure, so you'll know it's safe. Back to the breaking news on Wolf Street in Salina next. Back to the fire on Wolf Street in Salina. Mary Keeler is there to bring us up to date. Mary.
Michael, we just heard from the fire chief from Car 3 in Mattydale, and he basically said that it has been an extreme challenge tonight. There are a bunch of hoses going back onto the top of that building, which is Hot Ride Auto Parts, and he did confirm for us that the roof did kind of cave in and collapse, and right now they have received orders to basically shut everything down and regroup. There are still a lot of people wondering what's going on here. The cause still under investigation, and the firefighters are coated in ice, so battling the elements out here too. Live in the town of Salina, I'm Mary Keeler.
We're glad they're all okay. Mary, thank you. The nightcap is coming up next.